Welcome to another episode of Coastal Characters, a Blue Economy podcast. I am Katy, Acheson, Executive Director of the Cape Cod Blue Economy Foundation, and with me today, special guest, Haley Cote.
Hello, everyone. Oh, my goodness.
Cape Cod native.
Yes. Born and raised.
Grandma still lives on the peninsula.
She does. God bless her. 92 years old.
Woo! Okay. Mom's a local legend.
Oh, my gosh. Queen Peggy, yes.
There we go. All right. So if you know, you know.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about Haley first, and then we're going to get into a little bit of lore on someone that Haley works very closely with.
My BFF.
Your BFF, no spoilers. So let's talk about Haley Cote. Let's talk about Hailstorm, if you don't mind me spreading your nickname around like wildfire. Born and raised Cape Codder.
Yes. True blue here, yeah.
Where's the farthest you've ever been from Cape Cod?
Gosh, this is sad to say, but Florida.
Okay, that's pretty far.
Okay,
that's thousands of miles. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the farthest you want to go?
Ooh, Italy.
Ooh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
gotta get to Italy.
All right, Mike's listening, hopefully.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he knows what's up.
Awesome. And tell us what you do, Haley, and what brings you in touch with the blue economy.
Sure. Yeah. So I am the Chief of Staff at the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. So I get to work with Katy, and I've known Katy for many years prior as well. And, you know, I was her office mom back in the day at my former job. So we go way back. So yeah, as the Chief of Staff at the Cape Cod Chamber, gosh, it's hard to summarize what I do because
You don't say.
it's a little bit of everything and always different every day. But I have the great fortune of being able to work with Katy a lot on the Big Blue Conference in particular, which is super fun, and just get to work with her on media for that, actually. A lot of video content, and it's
We like
super
to
fun.
tap into Haley's creative side. Journalism background, is that right?
Yep, got a journalism degree from Suffolk University. So yeah, it's fun to be able to tap into that and use that knowledge again. And yeah.
Awesome. So Haley's job is like, I don't want to describe the Cape Cod Chamber like a circus, but there is like a component of chaos to the magic there. There's a lot of
sure.
people doing lots of different jobs that all comes
Yeah.
together. And you, in part, kind of hold it all together, right?
Well, thank you. Yes, I
Yeah.
try at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Haley has the great misfortune of having to deal with not only my calendar, but Paul's calendar as well.
Yeah. So boy, yeah, that's fun.
And one of, I think, maybe one of your favorite parts of the job is brainstorming like fun activities for the group to all roll their eyes at.
Gosh, yes, right. I just continue to be the office mom wherever I go. Clearly, that's just
That's the
my
vibe.
role in life. Yeah.
As far as you mentioned Big Blue, thank you so much. Other aspects of the job, other like events or components, not to stray too far into our other topic. We're still talking about you, and but like as far as like what brings you like the excitement and joy of working in an environment like that?
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, the people I get to work with, it really is such an awesome team. I tell people that all the time, and I sincerely mean it. It's the best team I've ever been a part of. So just being able to constantly collaborate with everybody every day is just wicked rewarding. And then, yeah, the event side of stuff, that's where the fun is. And then, yeah, what we're going to talk about coming up here, that's my pride and
People
joy
are, like,
right
so
there.
excited they don't even know. And we'll wrap with a little bit more, Haley, but I think we have to dive into this relationship here.
Yes.
And let's just start with, how did you and Doug meet?
Oh my goodness.
And then we'll talk about who Doug is, but let's talk about how you met.
Oh my God, when did we first meet? I mean, I think we might have first met when I was working at Cape Space, actually. That might have been my first encounter with him and just kind of seeing him out and about, because he's a hot ticket. He's everywhere on the Cape. He's at all the hot events, so you can't miss him, really. But yeah, I think it was just instantly like, it's fun. Like, Doug is just the most fun. You can't like help but smile and just feel pure joy when you're around Doug.
So for the listener that does not know who we're talking about or what we're talking about, can you give us the pitch on who and what is Doug?
Wow. So
Yeah,
okay.
take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah,
I'll sit back. You take your time.
Yeah, this is a lot here. So Doug the Quahog. This is a literal quahog we're talking about. But he is got full personality. He is as real as anything, I guess. Really, to me at least, and to all of his celebrity fans, and so. Going on 18 years now, the Cape Cod Chamber has done this event called Quahog Day. So every year, Doug makes his prognostication for how many beach days there'll be each summer. So it's just turned into this huge, fun, welcome summer kickoff party. And it's just all about having fun, celebrating Cape Cod, and getting to hear Doug predict beach days, which everybody loves that. We want to look forward to the beach days. And he's been on fire lately. He's been eerily accurate.
So when did you start working with Doug then?
So I started working with Doug. It would have been end of 2022. He went missing when we were in Mashpee Commons, us, the team, and we had to find him. And turns out he was just goofing off with Paul, like he usually is. So yeah, end of 2022. And yeah, this will be my fourth Quahog Day this year. Yeah.
So Doug the Quahog, an actual giant clam, predicts beach days.
Yep,
and you said he's been doing all right.
Yeah, he was this past year, he predicted 80 beach days. We had 84.
Ooh.
He's just a meteorological mollusk.
Take us back a couple of years when Doug had a difficult year with his prediction.
Yes. Yeah. So he had an off year a couple years back. He predicted a blockbuster summer, but unfortunately it was the opposite of sunny and warm and, happy. It was rainy every weekend here. So, he was pretty down on himself. He takes this really seriously. He really cares about Cape Cod and wants to get it right for everybody and, spread joy. Mm-hmm. So we put him in therapy. Paul went through it with him. Paul, the CEO of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, is also the Quahog Whisperer, if you can believe that.
Tell us about that. Tell us about the Quahog Whisperer.
Oh, my gosh. So if you want to go back further into the lore of Doug.
Take us there.
So Doug first came to be because a man by the name of Johnny Quahog, who you might run into at the Quahog Republic, discovered Doug, and it was love at first sight. They had quite the bromance. And then, the years had gone on. Johnny and Doug had been a team, and got to the point where Johnny was ready to let somebody else kind of share in the magic of Doug. And we discovered Paul could actually speak to Doug.
Paul can speak to Doug. Does that mean I couldn't speak to Doug? Doug doesn't understand me?
I think he understands you, but you're not going to understand him.
Okay.
That's
I don't
the trick
speak
there.
Quahog.
Yeah. Or Quahog knees, or yeah.
But Johnny Quahog does understand Doug.
Yeah. And then he recognized that Paul does as well. Because, Paul was just getting to know Doug when he was started out at the chamber, and they just formed their own little bromance. And Johnny kind of passed the baton on to Paul, and the rest has been history since then.
So they've been best buds, bivalve buds.
Bivalve buddies, yes. They have their ups and downs, like any brothers, but it's all love at the end of the day.
So Doug had a rough year. Paul and Doug went through some therapy.
Yep.
And then how have things gone? We want to hear a little bit more about the story and where things are heading with Doug in these really tumultuous times. Weather patterns are difficult to predict. Tell us about what else got worked on with Doug. Who helped Doug?
Yeah.
Other than Haley, of course.
Well, of course, yes. So we've got a team of Quahog security because he is that famous that he needs his own security squad. So, he bounced back after that rough year. He was on fire again. But then, Doug went a little rogue. He's a feisty one. Quite the character. And then Quahog security lost him. This was a couple years back at Quahog Day, and I had to whip Quahog security into shape.
He's a slippery shellfish.
Yeah, we can't be letting that happen. But thankfully he was all right. Again, he was just goofing off with Paul. What's new? So
So I want to let people know that, and we'll talk a little bit more about this and your involvement with it, but the stories that we're talking about, Doug's journey has been chronicled.
Yes.
Where can people witness some of these escapades?
Yes. So go to the Cape Cod Chamber's YouTube page. Also, I think some of it's on Visit Cape Cod's page as well. But yeah, you'll see this whole series and journey of, from Paul getting past the baton to be the official Quahog whisperer, to me having to put Quahog security back into shape here, and watching Doug go through his spiritual journey to get back to where he is today. So there's a lot of fun stuff there.
Yeah. In your work with Doug, have there been any creative differences when it comes to chronicling Doug's journey or with planning of Quahog Day? Has there been any budding shells, or has your relationship been pretty smooth?
It really has been so smooth. Yeah, no cracks in the shell. He is just, I've had a wonderful relationship with him. He's just so easygoing, and he's really down for the ride. And again, he loves Cape Cod so much, and he wants to really help in any way that he can bring joy and really highlight the magic of Cape Cod.
Beautiful. I had the glorious pleasure of hanging out with Doug at Carnival in 2025.
Yes, I remember this.
Which was really fun. Doug is a real catch, for sure.
Absolutely.
You get really popular no matter what the outlandish sort of scenario you're in. When you offer Doug to anyone for a photo opportunity, they are frozen in awe of this mollusk.
They really are. It's amazing how people are just they're starstruck.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. So smooth sailing. Is there anyone, not to dish a little bit, is there anyone that Doug really isn't seeing eye to eye with?
Ooh, I don't know legally if I can go there right now.
Okay.
But stay tuned. We'll have more to update you on a little later. But haters gonna hate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's always gonna be haters.
If you're that famous and that popular, yeah, absolutely. Can you take us back in time a little bit? And I don't know if this is too sensitive, but there was another manifestation of Doug, a larger manifestation of Doug. What do you know about the giant foam Doug?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this predates me, and I don't know much about it. It's a real mystery to me that I want to get to the bottom of, but there is a giant, how many feet would you say it is?
It's the size of a bicycle, basically, on its side.
Right.
Yeah.
There is this ginormous Doug that just lives at the Cape Cod Chamber, and, we're not sure what to do with him, but it's almost spiritual.
It's like an effigy.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have to do a part 2 where we bring Wendy Northcross or Greta in, or even Kristen to
yes,
take us down the giant Doug path to find out what some of that was about.
It's a good investigative series right there.
Yeah, this might be, and if anyone listening has any tips, they should absolutely write in to Haley at HALEY at capecodchamber.org. I want everyone to know how much of an office mom Haley is she didn't try to stop me just then. And the last 2 networking events I was at, I gave Haley's email instead of mine. So if you want to get in touch with me, get in touch with Haley.
It is a talent of yours. You know how to delegate. It's an art the way you delegate.
Haley's gonna start directing all of her email to my inbox at some point.
Oh gosh, I would not do that to you, no.
So when we talk about Doug, there's lore, there's a lot of depth. You can go down this story path of Doug's sort of evolution, and this wily cast of characters that follow Doug around that you referred to as Quahog security.
Yes.
We're going to talk to some Quahog security in our next episode.
Oh my gosh, and I don't even know what to say to really prepare you all for what you're going to hear in that interview, but just know it's going to be a wild ride.
People will probably, I promise I will try to turn down the volume on some particular microphones for that episode.
Yes.
But can you can you tell us a little bit about what Quahog Security do, who they are? You said you had to kind of put them through their paces a little bit because there was an incident where they let Doug out of their sight. I mean, first of all, how many security people are on Doug's fleet?
Oh my gosh. Well, that is an ever evolving thing. We're adding constantly here, but right now we've got lead dog, who I call Dougie. We've got the muscle. Those two are the OGs, and that's who you're going to hear from. And they are just, them alone are just a dynamic duo. They are really holding down the fort in a way that makes me very proud. And then we've got the professional. He's an OG as well, part of the crew. And Matt Pitta is Newsflash as well. Hello, Matt. And then speaking of Cape Space, Red Blaze is Kim Marchand, and going to be adding Stephanie Viva back in this year. And
can you talk a little bit about Stephanie Viva? Will she be wearing her hat as Quahog Security, or is that too much of a conflict of interest?
Oh my gosh, that could be fun though, right?
So, when you go back into the YouTube, listener, and you find the video where Stephanie Viva is there to sort of officiate Quahog Day, she has a really, really fantastic hat on. Yes. That's all I'll say. Yes. It's a really fantastic hat.
It's epic.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is hot news. Yes. We're getting Viva back on the squad.
Yes, we had to.
Welcome back. Okay, so we've got 5, or now coming up 6, really intense and intensely named powerhouse.
Yes.
Security guards.
Powerhouse for sure.
I cannot believe that those people, that those professionals, that those avid supporters and lovers of Doug would let Doug out of their sight. How chaotic is a Quahog Day?
Oh my gosh. Well, this one, we were at the chart room, and the chart room is such a fun atmosphere, and they got a little too caught up, maybe a few too many mudslides, those iconic mudslides over there, But again, I set them straight, and they are more committed to Doug now than ever, and, their loyalty is impressive.
It is. I'm a little intimidated about having 2 of Doug's security in an episode at once, but I think we're really going to get to the heart of what makes them like tick, what makes, what fuels their passion for summer and
Yes.
Cape Cod and Doug. And I think, for those of us that, we are following Doug on Instagram, and if you're not, it is simply Doug the Quahog.
Yes.
If you don't know how to spell Quahog, then you haven't been watching, is it Family Guy that takes place?
Oh, yes.
Okay. You can Google it. It's okay. You're allowed. But we see Doug everywhere.
Yes. Like I said at the beginning of this interview, he literally, he's everywhere, and it's just because he's a hot ticket, and he likes to mingle with his people and just be one of the people too,
Who would you say is one of the most influential or famous people that Doug has schmoozed with?
Ooh, who recently he's got to mingle with? He's got to mingle with some of the Boston meteorologists and anchors. So Eric Fisher from WBZ, he's got to spend a couple summers with Eric. So Eric's been awesome. He loves Eric. Rondella Richardson from Channel 5. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Yeah. So yeah, he's schmoozing for sure.
He's climbing his way up the ladder. Has he worked with any politicians? Do we need to know any of that? Is he in anyone's pockets?
On the record, I can't say.
Okay. We don't want to go down that Quahog
yeah.
hole. And this is a very touchy subject too, but have there been any issues with, and I'll ask Quahog Security this too, with Coast Guard or National Seashore or any of those institutions that protect our coastline?
So he's had a great relationship with the Coast Guard in particular too. He's, they know what Doug's about, and they know when to watch for him, and they've got his back, and he's got their back too. So
this is awesome. What a guy.
Right? I mean, I know. I look at him and I'm like,
what a guy.
Aspire to be like you, man.
Yeah. Doug is everywhere. You're going to know every event that's ever happened on Cape Cod after it's happened. If you follow Doug,
Yes.
You're going to get FOMO. It's going to incentivize you to want to sign up for some newsletters, start paying attention.
100%.
It's really easy to remember, but to remind everybody, Quahog Day is on the first day of summer.
Yes, or like right around there. So we're switching it up a little this year. We're doing it on a Saturday.
Ooh.
And we're going to be at the old casino, which was formerly the Wharf in Falmouth.
Okay.
Right on the water. Awesome location. So
beautiful. Where can people go to find out about the event?
So go to capecodchamber.org/Quahog Day.
Right.
And you'll see everything.
You'll have to look up how to spell Quahog, but you can do it. It's okay.
Yes, we believe in you.
We believe it'll be in the show notes.
Yes.
All right. Amazing. If anything else like pops into your head about Doug, please feel free to let us know. But I want to just delve in a little bit more to your passion about telling Doug's story and how that journalism background and your love of Cape Cod, how this stuff all kind of intertwines. A lot on this podcast we talk about, especially recently, about how our personal passions, our professional sort of prowess, and the Cape, these things kind of all coalesce at some point in our careers, which feels kind of magical.
So it really is, yeah.
Bring us into that space of Haley where these things are kind of coming together.
Yeah, man, you just summed that up really well. So yeah, I love Cape Cod. I've never wanted to leave here, and to get to work, in my past life as a journalist and get to tell local Cape Codders, coastal characters, stories, and then to continue to be able to find a way to do that through my work here at the Chamber. I'm really grateful to Paul, our CEO, for letting me just kind of run a little wild here with being able to tell stories and telling stories in a different way, of course, than journalism, but being able to tell them through video and this narrative, really fun kind of storytelling is such a treat. Like, it's just I've really uncovered a passion here. Like, obviously storytelling has always been a passion, but in this manner, it's really kind of unlocked something in me.
Just so cool to see that continue to develop year after year. Haley has a real knack for like video production and coming up with clever solutions, ideas. I have a gray sort of fold out therapy couch in my office at work. And I think recently that couch has really inspired a few like light bulb moments.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Give yourself a little credit for that too. You helped draw that out of me.
I just get excited at every possibility. And take it too far, and then you reel it back, and then you make it real. So
also, shout out to Big Tree. I've been working with Big Tree now for several years, and like they're just always down to do my ideas, and they make them come to life, and it's magical.
What other videos have you worked on aside from the Doug videos? Yeah,
so when I was at Cape Space, I kind of came up with a few different video concepts that kind of would just, in a more subconscious way, kind of tell what Cape Space is all about. So, there was one we did where both myself and my boss, we ended up dressing up as Stormtrooper and Darth Vader, and then we had Chewbacca. It was nuts.
I do recall a very memorable scene of a Stormtrooper trying to use the coffee machine.
Yes. Yeah. So that guy, he does that. Like, and that suit was custom fitted to him, and you gotta I think that's still on Cape Space's YouTube account. Go look that up, because that guy was impressive. Like, it was legit.
Yeah. And then you've also done some other videos for the Cape Cod Chamber.
Yes. So, we did that holiday one with Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a blast. We got to go in Mashpee Commons. And then,
what about with the board chair and the changing of the guard?
Yes. So that was a fun collaboration actually with Paul. Paul and I worked on that concept together, and then the fact that Lisa Oliver, Paulo Paraguay, Jim Connolly, Dan Wolfe, Michael Kasparian, the fact that they were all down to play like that, and they really brought their A game. That was such a fun shoot.
And it was something that we played at our annual meeting. Was it last year or the year before?
Last year, yeah.
So, really, really fun.
There will be another video this year.
So much creativity. And then I will say, Haley's also been a crucial part of creating the videos that we play at the Big Blue Conference, which at first we had them introducing every one of our speakers, but we also had like an overview video that Haley did the voiceover for, and now working on like sort of tightening up that and having an intro video for each day. And I'm so grateful that I can include you and give you that space to be creative and tweak things and ask the right questions and, kind of keep things sharp, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, first off, I'm grateful to you that you allow me to get to do that,
Because you're good at it.
Thank you. But yeah, that even really more so taps into my journalism background. So that's been fun to be doing like those kind of interviews for those videos. And then, yeah, I mean, I just have these visions for these videos and just making them kind of as grand and sweeping and cinematic almost as we can. And, I know we could do that with Big Tree. So yeah, it's a treat.
Nice.
I'm very lucky.
It's a really great collaboration that the Blue Economy Foundation, the Cape Cod Chamber, Big Tree, and then all of these different, individuals that we bring into to do these videos. I know some people are really nervous to get in front of a camera.
Yeah.
But then once they get talking to you, it becomes very natural, and Big Tree are able to capture that. And
Yes.
it's really beautiful to see from hearing stories about how things went. I recall there was a lot of wind one day at the canal, perhaps.
Oh God!
And
we want to tell that story.
So there's it's not always a perfect shoot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But together, working together, everyone brings out this really great product, and it holds up. It's really, really gratifying, and people love it. People talk about it, and I'm really, really proud that I get to give that to you to flex that creativity and to be able to play in that space. It's so fun.
Right? No, I know it really is. It's getting to play. It's getting to experiment and just have fun.
And you've got fans. Like Haley Cote Production has some serious fans out there. Like people, when I tell them, oh, this is so-and-so, Big Tree and Haley who did the Big Blue videos. Oh, I love these videos. Like people, and then like the Doug videos have a whole other, here's the thing. If you are a serious fan of Doug, I need you to actually email me, Katy at capecodchamber.org, and we can do a little like fan cast situation, because I know Allison from Cape and Coast out there. I know Jean Curry is a huge fan. I'm sure David Troutman is still a huge fan of Doug, and obviously like everyone on staff, and I mean with Doug's got a really great repertoire with waitresses.
Yes.
Really great repertoire with service providers on the Cape, because I think he gets the way they have to hustle.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Oh.
So to sort of close us out a little bit, I want to get back to a little bit of the heart of Haley. I love being able to talk about these videos. If there were any TV show, take your time here, that you could work on, whether it be writing, production, starring in, guest star, whatever, is there like a dream TV show? It doesn't have to still be running. It could be anything. Is there a show that, like if a genie could make a wish for you, that you'd want to somehow get involved in creating?
Oh my God, The Office.
Oh, The Office.
Like,
why?
Oh my gosh. I mean, the humor in that show, first off, is so brilliant. Like, just for its time, like, I don't know if it could work today, but like Steve Carell, like they all are just like, I mean, I feel like they're ad-libbing a lot of it too, and it's a type of humor that is just so brilliant to me. And like if you could work with Mindy Kaling and just be a part of that world, like that would just be the most fun.
And I say this with the utmost respect and affection. I kind of think you'd fit in.
Seriously. I mean Pam Beesly, yeah, I relate to her, yes.
Yeah, I definitely you have the skill of finding like humor in really I don't say awkward, but like offbeat spaces in reality, right? Like we were talking about a bird that has been using cars in our parking lot for its waste management, we'll call it. And Haley just comes out with some wild stuff. And it's really office level, really incredible.
No, we're holding up there. We might be going a little crazy, but
yeah. But the other question I like to ask people on the podcast, and there's two, and I think I might know the answer to one of them, but I want to ask you, what is your go-to ice cream order?
So, okay. Well, I mean, honestly, it depends on where I'm going for ice cream. I mean, if I'm going to Gone Chocolate in Osterville, I'm getting their vanilla with chocolate sprinkles with Jimmy's, because that is just nostalgia to me. That was my childhood going there. So, like, have to. But then I feel like a lot of other places I'm getting, like, coffee or coffee Oreo.
Okay, coffee
Love me
Oreo.
my Oreos.
Yep. All right. Oreo on top, little extra Oreo crumble.
Oh, heck yes.
Oh, heck yes. Okay. All right. Are there any questions that you would like me to ask you that I haven't?
My gosh, I would always ask my subjects that at the end of every interview I did, and I would get, like, some of the best quotes from that.
Or if you want to go good hang Amy Poehler style, what should I ask the Quahog security?
Oh, my gosh.
This is how everybody knows that I do not prep my interviewees with anything. It is just a conversation.
Yeah. Which I love that, though.
And also, it's like quite a lot after lunch. And I'm sure Haley and I could both probably fall asleep in my car.
I know, right? I know, yeah. Sorry, Nick. It's going to be some editing here.
We'll just play some music over the quiet parts.
Yep. Let's put Quahog security to the test. Ask them what Doug's favorite meal is.
Ooh.
Like,
okay.
Death row kind of meal, like last meal.
Last meal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What would Doug's last meal be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if they get this right.
Okay. What would yours be?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I need some pepperoni pizza for sure. Some mac and cheese.
Okay. We're going heavy on the cheese
Yep.
stuff. I love this.
And I gotta get my mom's, like, anything my mom could bake and just put some of her buttercream frosting on it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
To drink?
Drooling right now. To drink. Yeah, root beer. It's like
the root beer is sitting with you
It's
today.
really the theme. Yeah.
We're going root beer. Okay. Knockabout do have a root beer.
Yes. Love Knockabout.
Yeah. Thank you all for. I bullied. I don't know if I bullied him. I kind of bullied the brewer into doing that when they opened. I'm very proud of myself.
You should be.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. So, all right. Next time, we're going to talk to Quahog security.
Yes.
You're
Yep.
gonna
Everybody buckle up for that.
Turn,
That you're in for.
turn the volume down a little bit.
You're in for a treat, though.
And we are going to make sure to ask them, what is Doug's last meal?
Yes.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much, Haley. And
Yes.
thank you so much, Doug.
Yes. Thank
Appreciate
you, Katy.
both so much.
This has been fun.